Hello and welcome to this Compliance Communication Toolkit video. I'm supposed to be being joined by Richard Bistrong, but all I can see are some flames.
Well, not anymore, you don't, Christian. I just figured it's coming up on the holiday season. We're about to celebrate Thanksgiving here, and it'd be a nice way to start off our episode of the Compliance Communication Toolkit. And when it comes to holidays, some things I always think about is what's on the reading stack, Christian? So, have you been reading anything, or are you getting ready to read anything for your holiday season?
Well, I'm raring to go for the holiday season, Richard. Already kitted out in the winter attire, perfect for sitting and reading books. And what I've been reading recently is a book by Tom Burgess. In fact, I've literally just come from a podcast recording with Tom for my Human Risk podcast, talking about his new book, Kleptopia, which is a cracking read all about corrupt regimes, where they get their money, how it's laundered, fascinating stuff from a human perspective. And it's been a really interesting thing as I've been listening to it going on my daily runs.
Well, Christian, I'm a little more old-fashioned. I have been reading Kleptopia. Here is the hard copy version. It is a cracking read, well said, very well recommended. And speaking of Tom Burgess, the book before Kleptopia was The Looting Machine, Warlords, Oligarchs, Corporations, Smugglers, and the Theft of Africa's Wealth. Not exactly light holiday reading, but wonderful, wonderful writing here, both on top of our reading stack. Now, Christian, we've been talking about communications and virtual communications. How about in that genre? Anything come to mind?
Well, Richard, we featured this before. It's Can You Hear Me? Something we often say to each other during the CYA training. But Nick Morgan's book is just getting better and better as I read it, as we're learning to use new technologies. Keep coming back to this as a top tip. Unlike Tom's book, this is a little bit of a thinner volume, so a little bit easier to read, but definitely something people should be having on their bookshelves. And I'm pretty sure you've got your copy somewhere close to hand.
I do, Christian. It's right here. And I was impacted or inspired right from the first chapter, which is we're more connected now than ever, so why do I feel so alone? Something I often complain about during our CYA training, so hopefully this will help everyone out. And just one other bit of writing that I'd like to call attention to was by Ron Carucci in the Harvard Business Review, How to Actually Encourage Employee Accountability. A wonderful piece. And speaking of Ron Carucci, he has a book that will be published in the spring. To be honest, lead with the power of truth, justice, and purpose. So we'll be sure to point people toward all of these resources that we're talking about today. And that about completes my reading list, Christian. Anything else from you?
So, Richard, given the time of year, it's freezing cold now in the Northern Hemisphere, at least it is in the UK, perfect for catching up on Netflix and a whole load of other box sets. So we'll put details of some recommendations of things, but I'm pretty sure that I can guess what you've been watching. My guess will be you've been catching up on The Crown.
Well said, Christian. I have been binge watching The Crown. I am all finished, and I'm glad that I did because I read in this morning's Financial Times that Her Majesty has requested some research on blockchain. So I certainly want to be up to speed with what the Royal House is reading and researching with respect to blockchain. So it looks like I have another reading assignment. Well, Christian, it's been great catching up with you. I want to wish all of our friends a healthy and happy Thanksgiving ahead.
And we'll wish everybody happy, compliant holidays. Whoever you're spending it with, wherever you're spending it, have a wonderful time.
I'm sure we will be back with another CYA misadventure before the holiday. But until then, it's getting a little bit cold here. So I think I'm going to say goodbye and head back to that warm fireplace.